Good evening, good evening. Welcome to St. James Family Worship, the perfect place for people who aren't. I'm actually with Auburn gear on because I see Kenny online. Sometimes you just have to put on whatever you got, so we here. Amen. God bless. This is day 159, day 159 of our Open Door Devotional Review. And tonight we're talking about compromise keeps you from your purpose. Compromise will keep you from your purpose. Daniel chapter 1 verse 8 says, let me get it. Let me shoot it up here for those that don't have it. Let's see. Daniel 1 and 8 says, but Daniel resolved not to defile himself. Daniel resolved not to defile himself. Remember, we're talking about compromise keeps you from your purpose. Life here on earth is about conformity, conforming into the image of something. The important part of that is who and what you're conforming to. The world is out to get you to conform to this present age and this present culture. However, the Spirit of God is pressing you to not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's all about your mind. It's all about how you think, This present world is pressing you to compromise your values on a daily basis. Values are important. And as a child of God and a citizen of the kingdom, we have a core value system. Daniel lived a life filled with God's values. Daniel was captured and brought to Babylon as a slave and taught the Babylonian language and the customs of Babylon. He was offered the Babylonian diet, but Daniel stuck to his values down to what he ate. Did you get that? Daniel stood for God in a hostile culture all the way down to the food he would eat. Now to us, that seems to be rather petty and insignificant, the little things like that. But Daniel understood that when you start compromising in the little things, it will lead to larger things. It's just food today. It'll be money tomorrow. It'll be sexual immorality next week. Compromise is in the small areas lead to compromise in the major areas. Daniel stood on his value system, although it meant he would be thrown into a pit with angry and hungry lions. If you'll stand up for God and not compromise in this culture, God will reward you when you stand before him as you enter into his heavenly culture and his heavenly kingdom. Many patriarchs had to deal with the challenge of compromise. Take Moses, for instance. Moses had the opportunity to live as a prince, as the Pharaoh's grandson. But the word says in Hebrews 11:26, Moses regarded disgrace for the sake of Christ as a greater value than the treasures of Egypt, because he was looking ahead to his reward. He chose God's values, not the values of the world, not the values of Egypt, not Pharaoh's stuff. And that's why God used Moses mightily. God has a plan and a purpose for your life, but compromise will keep you from getting there. You need to ask yourself, what's actually important? And once you identify what's important, stick with it. If you'll stick with it, that's how you show that it's important and not compromising it. What are a few values in your life that you've decided to not compromise on? Can you name them? Watch this now. If you can't name your values, you may not have any. If you don't know what your values are, you can't keep them. How do you keep from compromising if you don't know what not to compromise? Here's my core values in life. Integrity. I've been at St. James for 28 years. St. James has heard me talk about integrity from day one since I've been in St. James. Never had a scandal in 28 years in my life at St. James. Family, core value. Family. I love my family. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my grandchild. Family is core to me. It's a core value. Service is a core value in my life. I love to serve people. I love people. I love serving people in any capacity. Generosity is a core value of mine. I like giving. I like extending. I like blessing people. I know what my core values are, so I know what not to compromise. What's your core values? And do you have people around you that are helping you to keep your core values? Or do you have people around you that are enticing you to compromise your values? In closing, hear this. When you have to compromise your morals and values for the people around you, maybe it's time to change the people that's around you. God bless you and God keep you is my prayer tonight.